Welcome to my channel Class Winner by Shri Shyam Books, All India number 1 skill books publisher. You ever stop to think about your vacation? I mean, how that simple act of just getting away is actually part of a colossal, multi-trillion-dollar global industry? Well, today we are going to unpack the incredible story of how a deep-seated desire to see the world actually became the business of tourism. Right? Think about your last trip, the flight you booked, the hotel you stayed in, maybe even that perfectly planned tour. It all feels so seamless now, doesn't it? But the system that makes all of that possible didn't just pop up overnight. Oh no, it has a truly remarkable history. What began as just a basic human curiosity to explore has morphed into this giant, interconnected global machine. It's an entire industry built on our sense of adventure and, of course, on business. So how on earth did we get from there to here? To really get the business of tourism, we have to rewind the clock way back. We need to understand what travel was like before tourism was even a word. Because for most of human history, people were definitely moving around, but they were not on vacation. Yeah, this is absolutely crucial. Early travel wasn't about leisure at all. I mean, early humans were nomadic, just looking for food. Later on, people traveled for trade, for religious pilgrimages, or for military campaigns. Every single journey had a very practical purpose. The Silk Route is a perfect example of this. It was one of the most incredible travel networks in the ancient world, connecting East and West. It moved goods like silk and spices, and just as important, it moved ideas. But the people traveling it, they were merchants, diplomats, and soldiers, not tourists looking for a beach. But then, after the Renaissance, something started to shift. For a very, very specific group of people, travel started to become an experience in and of itself. And all of a sudden, the whole point of a journey wasn't just about survival or making a profit anymore. For the wealthy elite, it became about absorbing culture, getting a world-class education, and let's be honest, it was a major status symbol. This was called the Grand Tour. You can think of it as a rite of passage for young, aristocratic men, mostly from Britain. They would spend months, sometimes even years, traveling through places like Paris, Rome, and Venice to study art and history. It was super exclusive, deeply educational, and it really planted the seed for the idea of traveling for self-improvement. But here's the thing about the Grand Tour, it was strictly for the 1%. The real revolution, the moment travel became something for pretty much everyone, needed a perfect storm of new technology and one incredibly visionary person. And boy, did that technology arrive. The Industrial Revolution was the ultimate game changer. Thanks to the steam engine, we got railways and steamships. And for the first time in history, you didn't have to be rich to travel long distances pretty quickly and, most importantly, cheaply. All the pieces were finally in place. And this is the man who put them all together. Meet Thomas Cook. His name is on travel agencies all over the world, but the man himself is widely considered the father of the modern tourism industry. And what he did was so simple, yet so incredibly revolutionary. So, on 5th July 1841, he had this brilliant idea. He chartered a train to take a group of 570 regular people on a day trip from Leicester to Loughborough in England. Now that sounds so simple to us today, but nobody had ever organized travel for a large group of ordinary folks just for fun before. Ever. And this is the detail that changed everything. The price. It cost just 1 shilling. For that 1 shilling, you got the train ride, a picnic lunch, and entertainment from a brass band. See, by buying the service in bulk, the whole train, he could sell it for next to nothing. This wasn't just a trip, it was a brand new business model. This was the birth of the package tour. So when you put them side by side, the contrast is just stark. The Grand Tour was for the absolute elite, lasted for years, and was all about education. Cook's Tour? It was for everyone. It lasted a single day, and it was purely about having a good time. He didn't just sell a train ticket, he made travel accessible to the masses. From that one single train trip, an entire industry was born. And then, in the 20th century, another huge wave of technology would take Cook's idea and make it truly global. Okay, so let's fast forward to the period right after World War II. This is really the beginning of tourism as we know it today. The economy was booming, people had more disposable income, and, this is huge, for the first time, many people had paid vacation time. This, plus a massive technological leap, was about to change everything all over again. And that leap? It was the commercial jet. In the 1950s, jet aircraft made crossing an ocean something you did in a few hours, not a week on a ship. The world didn't just feel smaller, it effectively was smaller. And with that, the industry just went vertical. It exploded. International travel, which had always been for the super rich, suddenly became a real possibility for the middle class. The package tour went from a day trip on a train to a week on a beach in Spain, or Thailand, or anywhere really. And you see, this constant push for the next destination, the next frontier, is really at the heart of the tourism business. It's always looking for what's new. Which brings us to the present, and a quote from our source material that says it all. And no, this is not science fiction anymore. This is happening. Companies like Space Adventures and Virgin Galactic are actually turning space into the newest tourism frontier. It's kind of like the Grand Tour for the 21st century, pushing the absolute boundaries of where the business of travel can possibly go. So, when you step back and look at it, the journey of this industry is really our own journey. It's gone from dusty, ancient trade routes to elite cultural trips, from mass-market train rides to jumbo jets, and now, literally, to the edge of space. It's a business built on our oldest, most basic impulse to see what's over the next horizon. Which leaves just one question, really. Where will we want to go next?
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe.